Oh, good morning. Good to see you. How are you? How are you doing? It's mid-morning here. I slept very hard on a beautiful Sunday morning it is. So I'm kind of messing around with a little bit of a new format at the moment. Sort of a daily roundup. And I'm going to attempt to maybe keep these for early morning sort of streams or something like that. Just a soft spoken catch up. I was thinking the audio is not binaural. Oh, strong black coffee. That's the one, isn't it? Hey, Lax, good to see you, my friend. Hope that you're keeping well. So, let's begin. But last night I ended up watching The Fifth Element, which was, well, I attempted to watch it. I kind of fell asleep just as, just as I was kind of halfway through that movie. But yeah, I forget how good that movie is. Actually, I always love the characters Bruce Willis plays. So I'm just catching up with the feed at the moment to see what's going on. Let's start with this one. Knowledge is power, but so is lack of motivation, which I found sat in my easy chair last night. Respect people who find time for you, but love people who are always there for you. Um, that's something we kind of sell ourselves short on quite a bit, I find, anyway. I know I've certainly been guilty of not always loving people who are always there for you, I think. I think we're all, at some point in our lives, maybe. When you're busy, there's less time given to unhelpful thoughts. So I guess rumination is really our enemy. Allowing too much time for rumination can result in unhelpful thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Having a structured day, having a list is a really helpful thing, I find. It gives order to the chaos at times. My advice at the moment: embrace baldness. Dihydrotestosterone isn't necessarily a bad thing. As a person who's finally embraced the male pattern baldness, I can honestly say that I feel better for it. The only downside, of course, is it needs the hair needs shaving, maybe every 3 days in order to keep it trim and in check. But I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of happy to embrace the next stage of my life, I think. I had a good amount of mileage with my hair in my early 20s. I guess it gives more room to grow a beard instead, maybe. So I'm quite looking forward to the next stage of this body, I guess. When you're right, no one remembers. When you're wrong, no one forgets. And that's no more true than being a content creator online, I guess. And especially in a world where everything is documented every single day now, like, I'm very, very grateful for the fact that I grew up through my reckless teens and 20s without too much documentation of the embarrassing stuff we do in our teens and 20s, really. So, yeah, I think that's another one to remember. 6 behaviors of genuine people. Number 1, they don't seek attention. Number 2, they're not concerned with being liked. Number 3, they can tell when others are full of it. Full of what? I'm not too sure. This is from the Mind Body Healing blog. Number 4, they're comfortable in their own skin. Number 5, they do what they say and say what they mean. I feel that's number 5 is very important, to follow through on your actions as opposed follow through on your words with actions as opposed to talk. Look at a person's actions rather than what they're saying. They practice what they preach. Well, I guess that's a daily practice we all attempt to try. A list to keep nearby. Give time for yourself and love yourself. Save space for people who matter. Keep your circle small. Accept what cannot be changed. Leave behind what isn't good for you. That one is harder. Easier said than done. That's a lot harder to do. I think sometimes when we have a pattern of unhelpful behaviours, it's sometimes hard to leave behind what isn't good for you. Whether it be a habit, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a job you're comfortable in. And the last one is no matter what happened, to always think positive. I guess it helps to have an abundance mindset, really, when it comes to that last point. To see things as in abundance, that there is always an opportunity for growth, is what I take from that in terms of thinking positive. Oh, that's good coffee. Sometimes you don't get closure. Sometimes you just have to move on. And with that being said, it's okay to maybe put your thoughts, feelings and emotions on bypass for a little bit, but never to deny those thoughts, feelings and emotions. And that means to maybe choose an appropriate place and space for you to feel it, to heal it. Be positive and trust the timing of everything. Just because it's not happening right now doesn't mean it will never happen. Stay patient, stay humble, and remember, when it's meant to be, it will be. Patience in action. Patience in action. So always deploying patience with anything that you do. yields the most honest and positive outcome, really. Okay. Here's a quick snippet on superfoods. my preferred superfood being a hamburger. Ginger. Ginger contains gingerol, a substance with powerful medicinal properties. Top 10 benefits of ginger. It says here ovarian cancer treatment. Number 2, colon cancer prevention. Now I take these with a shovelful of salt, being a pragmatic realist, I guess. Number 3, morning sickness relief. Number 4, motion sickness remedy. Number 5, reduces pain and inflammation. Number 6, heartburn relief. Number 7, prevention of diabetic nephropathy. Now, when it comes to the kind of the heavy duty facts that they're mentioning here, I'm a little bit skeptical, of course, but just going off mind, body, and healing. Number 8, migraine relief. Number 9, menstrual cramp relief. Number 10, cold and flu prevention. There we go. On digital health and wellness, they've been working on a wheelchair for people to use outdoors. It's made by Action Track Chair, and Tim Swenson has been developing it because his son is in a wheelchair, and he knew other people who wanted more mobility too. Stuff like fishing, hunting, hiking, and going to the beach and whatnot. So he came up with this heavy-duty wheelchair, and the chairs are made to be tough and function in any condition. And it's up on the cheddar. At the moment it costs $11,000, which isn't cheap by any means, but the actual image itself looks quite heavy duty and looks to be able to overcome rugged terrain. So that's kind of cool. That's a nice little innovation that's happening there. An important one I learned many years ago: don't trust people who tell you other people's secrets. It's a big one, you know. Yeah, especially in your social and work circles. Especially then, if they're talking to you about someone else, in a heartbeat they'll talk about you to someone else. That's just the nature of people. We're tribal at our very core, aren't we? Okay, what have we got? Okay, we have small talk is nice, but the big questions that allow us to build a deeper connection with others, whether it's a lover or a friend. And there's 36 big questions to build a deep connection with anyone. So these include things like, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Number 2, who would you like to be famous, and in what way? What would constitute a perfect day for you? When did you last sing to yourself, to someone else? Yeah, and there's 36 of these. I'm not going to delve too much into them, but that's up on the emotionmachine.com. A few words on Stoicism. For a few centuries, man has tried to make himself like a machine. He learned to arrive on time. He's learned to repeat after teacher. He's learned to do repetitious tasks reliably. Machines are now better at being machines than man is. Man must now relearn how to be man. Okay, what have we got here next? So I found out about Ben Taylor, who in 2017 responded to what sounded like a classic Nigerian prince scam on Facebook, and ended up befriending the man and raising thousands for a poor community in Liberia. And that's up on Reddit. An odd fun fact: the youngest pope was 11 years old. Greater depressive symptom severity is linked to a smaller amygdala volume in young adults. So the amygdala is right in the center of the brain, and the amygdala is involved in the processing of emotions such as fear and anxiety. It is possible that depressed people might process more strong emotions, which would, in a sense, make the amygdala work harder and increase in size. On the other hand, increases in the stress hormone cortisol in depression might be harmful to the amygdala and might become smaller. Finally, it is possible that one might just have either a smaller or a larger amygdala, which alters processing of emotions and makes one more vulnerable to depression. Every day is a new opportunity to begin again, and so often we lose track of that. I do every day. It's never too late to start over. If you weren't happy with yesterday, try something different today. Don't remain stuck. And another one is, what got you to this point today isn't what's going to get you onto the next point tomorrow. So you have to potentially change your strategy a little bit to get you through the day. Don't let your victories go to your head, or your failures go to your heart. Why don't people use their indicators on their cars anymore? I'm seeing it a lot less and less these days. Like, I kind of have to be a mind reader to guess which way people are turning, and have to kind of presuppose. Okay. Oh yeah. Much like Blade Runner, Dark City and 12 Monkeys, Fifth Element is a timeless classic, just to recap on that as well. What have we got here? And then I think the last point is this is on the time. A mysterious company claims to sell sneeze-filled tissues for $80. There's some strange things that go on, isn't there? So I'm thinking about employing this sort of a setup each day where I kind of bring you a daily dose of interesting musings and facts and bits of news. I think I would like, in theory, for that to maybe try it first thing in the morning and then upload an ASMR video towards the evening. I'm going to do my best to try and make that happen. Obviously it's late morning here now, so I'm going to attempt to do it very, very early tomorrow morning. We will see. But anyway, I just want to wish you a great day, and thanks for stopping by. Take care.